What's up everyone? So this was me 30 days ago when I first started this no added sugar challenge. Strawberry flavored. Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit. This is me trying to put away sweets out of view, but boy did I not know what was coming next. So the main metric I measured throughout this challenge was my weight, and I started off at 224.8 pounds. I also recorded down my mood and energy levels, so I do have some more on that to share with you as well. But when I saw my end weight, wow, I was so shocked. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video where I share more on that as well as some other key lessons. First, I want to touch on the why. Why did I decide to do this 30-day no added sugar challenge? For starters, I always knew that consuming too much added sugar is simply not healthy. When you go online, it is so easy to see that there are both negative short-term and long-term effects of consuming too much added sugar. Just to name a few, there's cardiovascular disease, obesity, and high blood pressure that can all result from eating too much sugar. So of course, myself and thinking about my family and my children, I want to be present and I want to be there for them. Being a healthy and capable provider for the long run is a huge pillar or value in my life. The next reason is because I noticed that I was really losing control. Now, I don't mean actually going and punching walls type of a thing or being violent, but I was really lacking self-discipline and self-belief when it comes to not eating sugar. Whenever I saw something sweet, I'd get very excited. And I wouldn't eat in small quantities either. I would eat these enormous portions at one time. Sugar was just a part of my daily life, and I wanted to break free of this habit. Now, another reason I want to touch on is because I've always been a big fan of exercise and working out. So although I've done lots of exercise, I actually did a full month push-up challenge this year that you can check out. There's another video on that, actually quite a few videos that you can check out if interested. So I've always loved to exercise, but I haven't always been able to implement I've rarely been able to implement a healthy and sustainable diet. So doing this 30-day challenge was a real test of strength, but I was also, this is the last reason, very curious to see what the results will be. If I could really go from having sugar every day and eating enormous portions to no added sugar and focusing on healthy foods, what would the results be? Would they be not very noticeable? Could I make it through? I just wanted to test myself. So in this video, I will be sharing a quick recap of each week, 1 through 4, and sharing some of the main highlights and things I learned throughout this challenge. Here's an image of the guidelines I established for this no added sugar experiment. I'm not gonna go through everything right now, but here it is for your reference. Now here's where we get to the fun part. Right out of the gate with week 1, it was so tough. On just the second day of this challenge, I experienced a major migraine, and it lasted for many hours. My body was struggling to adjust to this no added sugar, but there were some things that I could do, such as increasing my water intake and going on a walk, which seemed to help. Then the day after that, it was out of nowhere that I got into this very down and depressed mood. My mood was just awful. So the first few days, I would say, of this challenge were definitely the most difficult. But as week 1 progressed, things did slowly start to get better. It was just tough, to be honest, with all of the cravings and my body making its adjustments. For example, on one night, my father-in-law brought home some delicious cheesecake. It was early into the first week. It was tough to resist. But the good news is, me slowly resisting each day really built up my discipline. At the end of week 1, I lost a total of 3.2 pounds in just 1 week of not having added sugar. Now on to week 2. My mood and energy levels were certainly stabilizing and getting better, but I still had some major cravings. And I noticed especially this after lunch huge craving that hit, and it seemed to hit every day right after lunch. Besides that huge craving after lunch where I had to implement some serious self-control, my other cravings were actually not too bad. Also during week 2, it just felt like the challenge was going on forever. The days were just stretching out and all I wanted to do was just consume some sugar. But the beautiful or amazing thing that happened was towards the end of week 2, where I had this aha moment. It was where I finally felt that my body and mind were getting more used to saying no to cravings. And it was at that point where I started to feel self-belief. Having that feeling was incredible. It's hard to put it into words. It was quite the emotional experience because I had relied on sugar so heavily throughout the past, I don't know how many years. But then out of the blue, I started to feel like I can actually live without sugar. So that aha moment was so needed and helped sustain me throughout the rest of the challenge. Now get this, at the end of week 2, I had lost another 5 pounds. just in that week. So that is just a little over 8 pounds that I lost from eating healthy and exercising, cutting out the sugar. Now for weeks 3 and 4, I honestly don't have too much to share, so I don't want to waste your time or anything like that, but I really started to feel more in control. My energy levels were very stable. I didn't feel weighed down or this burden of having this unhealthy food processing in my system. So you could say that I felt like in weeks 3 and 4 that I was running on this clean and efficient energy. My mood levels were also amazing, and by the end of week 3, in just week 3, I had lost another 3 pounds. In week 4, I lost another 2.5 pounds. So here's the moment we've all been waiting for. At the beginning of the challenge, my weight was 224.8 pounds. By the end of the challenge, my weight had dropped to 210.5 pounds. That is a total decrease of 14.3 pounds in 4 weeks. I was so astonished to see this number and felt so grateful that I had pushed through until the end. Now, if you're curious to see some of the foods and snacks that I ate throughout this no sugar challenge, I highly recommend checking out my Instagram. I did daily posts sharing what I ate and shared some more insights as well. I want to note that throughout this 30-day no added sugar challenge, I was definitely not perfect. There were a couple times where I had some ketchup or had a sip of soda, but you can see that even though I wasn't 100% perfect, I did my very best and the results were quite amazing, even though I wasn't 100% perfect. Now, there were many key lessons I learned that I wish I would have known before going into this challenge. I'm creating a separate video for that, so make sure to stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on that video to come. There is one lesson I do want to share in this video. It's that cravings or the desire to eat something sweet, those are temporary. I found that as long as I made it through that short amount of time of being tempted for that sweet, that I never regretted it and I felt an added level of self-confidence. Okay, so I want to share with you a final clip of where I ate sugar after this 30-day challenge. My son and I had some delicious cake together. Before I share it with you, I want to share something kind of ironic. It's that after I ate this cake, I actually started to get a headache. So I got a headache when I first went off sugar, and now I got a headache after going back onto sugar. So kind of a funny parallel there, but I think it's important moving forward to set some boundaries for myself, such as only having like 1 ice cream a week or 1 boba drink. Oh, the milk tea here is so delicious. But if I set those boundaries, I feel like it'll be much easier to move forward and have more sustainable, healthy habits. Okay, so here's the final video. Hey buddy, can daddy have a bite? Ah. Here we go. Wow, that's sweet. Now it's time to keep sustainable habits, not try to have it too often, but boy is it nice to have some sugary cake. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you have an amazing day. If you're looking to do a similar challenge, please reach out. I would love to connect. I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.